So I had several areas of comment. First, I just so appreciate, Stephanie, you and the leadership that you've provided over the several years process to this. And I just want to remind people that it had a very long process with 2 public comment periods and 3,400 comments, of which, if you haven't sat through the Instructional Quality Commission, every comment goes through line by line, and the Instructional Quality Commission decides which ones they're going to accept and incorporate, which I think was over 300, and which ones with the rationale on if they didn't think they needed it or not. Secondly, the standards came from 2008, and in the 10 or 11 years since then, we've had a lot of legislative processes that required things needed to be included in addition to what standards we already had. So I think the committee worked really hard to incorporate legal requirements, from the Healthy Youth Act, but there were other ones, I am assuming. And I don't know if that's something you want to kind of summarize. I have a couple other comments, but I think it's important to know that we had to put some things in by legislators. There was a whole hearing process that went through the legislator. They then get sent to us to incorporate. So could you do that first, and then I'll go back to a couple.
Sure. So I'll just kind of list off the themes within the education code that we're required to include: inclusion and equity, organ procurement and tissue donation, nutrition education, sexual harassment and violence, lifelong health, aging and financial literacy, of course, the California Healthy Youth Act. Sexual harassment and violence was also to be considered, and then sexual abuse and sex trafficking prevention education, sexual abuse and sexual assault awareness and prevention education, and healthy relationships and mental health instruction.
Thank you. So my understanding is this is an update, and that 94 was the last health framework. Is that right?
I believe so.
So that's a long time.
And
things have changed, and there are new requirements, and just as we know, we took us almost 20 years to update our science framework, and we know a lot more about science, that we provide this as a resource to local districts. So my next question is, I understand working out in local districts that local county offices and also I believe CDE are providing guidance to educators now in the field, talking points, resources. So I'm interested in you sharing what you're aware of or what the funding provides. So what resources can school districts expect to have as they do the work going forward? Again, I just think it's important to clarify that people are out there, they're getting some talking points. So